What's going on, beautiful people? Welcome to another episode of From the Logo Podcast. We got Gifted, Bama, ZZ, myself, Hayes, all in the building today. Fellas, it's been a minute. We got a great many things to talk about, man. But first up, before we get in and jump into the action, how's everybody feeling?
Man, I'm good, man. We back. All-Star Weekend was cool with the gang. Glad, I don't know if y'all know, but people in the chat, bro, we got a new casual part. Me, I'm here. Football guru has emerged over to the basketball half, bro. So now I'm finna bring my super nasty catnip smoking takes over here to the basketball world, because I'm finna make Gifted and ZZ upset. Upset with my nasty takes. Upset.
It takes a lot to get Gifted upset. If you can get Gifted upset, that's really that's a special talent area of itself, because Gifted's always calm and collected, man.
Yeah.
Agreed. Nonetheless, fellas, man, All-Star Weekend. First of all, how'd you guys feel about All-Star Week? We'll get into like the some comments and things coming out of All-Star Weekend, but your overall thought coming out of the weekend overall. Who wants to take it away first?
Who want to go first? I got some shit I got to get off my chest. But
I got you on this. They put the D in disappointing. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. This All-Star stuff has kind of died on me over the past 5 years. I have legitimately no desire to watch it at all. At this point, I really feel like they don't need to do All-Star anymore. Just have a break for all the players, because it's been that bad of a product. And honestly, I've come to the realization that I'm done trying to fix the All-Star game, because I think some of it is we're just older, so it's not going to hit the same way that it used to back in the past. But also, they're trying everything. And I respect Adam Silver. They're trying to do a whole bunch of different things, but for there to only be 33 minutes of actual basketball being played in that All-Star game on Sunday, but the advertisements, the amount of Kevin Hart impromptu speeches, it was a mess. Like it felt so far away from basketball, which is what I thought the point of All-Star break was supposed to represent. I will say this: Saturday was better. I had very low hopes, very low expectations. Saturday was not bad. I was very surprised by that, but all in all, All-Star Weekend was very disappointing for me.
Bama, go ahead.
I'm gonna have to piggyback off of that, bro. As a football guru, man, I didn't like it. It's like I felt like they was trying to compensate for the lack of storylines they have in the NBA today. So we kind of made it like too gimmicky. It's like it was almost like clickbait. Like we was just trying to draw people in, but the product was garbage product. Like it's like they did too much. Sometimes less is more. Like all of the different teams, like just take it back to the East versus West All-Star. Like what was wrong with that format? Like nothing was wrong with that format. And then
I'm gonna push back. Hold on, I'm gonna push back on you for just a second there. Something was wrong with that format because motherfuckers got too friendly, right? Now, yeah. I do think that the format itself, if you're going to do East versus West, is cool. I actually think going to the different teams in the tournament style actually brought more competitive basketball, but I think they would have to like change it to score to 50 than 40, because you could just score 40 points way too fast. And I agree with you. Like, instead of doubling down on the entertainment part of it, it should have been about the storyline. There are plenty of storylines in the NBA that you can go to, right? But they wanted to do the entertainment part. And I don't want to see Kevin Hart in my All-Star Weekend unless he's on a midget bowl with Mars. That's the only way. Kevin Hart versus Mars, sign me up all day long, one-on-one. But other than that, no. But go ahead, keep it going, Ben.
I just felt like you said, they should have strictly kept it to the storyline. Or if they was, I felt like it was just, you might have felt like it was cool, but like that little to 40, it was just, I don't know, bro. It was just too much, bro. Like I felt like they tried too hard, bro. And it kind of got, it's watered down. And then like people saying the ads, bro, it's just so much with that, bro, where I feel like they just need to reset, go back to how, and then make the proper advances from the and honestly listen to your fans. Like, I feel like the NFL is, instead of just trying to draw people in with what y'all think is gonna draw people in, just listen to the people that's already complaining. Because one thing I will say what you want, but NBA fans, they kind of know about their sport. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, some of them probably never played basketball or whatever, but I really feel like they know about their sport, man. So listen to them. Listen to them what they want, and I feel like they won't steer you wrong. But this is just a part of greed and just trying to attract people and get money, and I ain't like it. I ain't like it.
So let me get this off, please. Okay. So for me, right, I go into All-Star game weekend every year since like I was in high school, early high school, sophomore year maybe. With and the excitement, like somebody said, it goes down year by year. Watching All-Star weekend this year, the last few years, the dunk contest or the three-point contest, one of the two, has out-hyped and or just outperformed the All-Star game itself. Somebody asked me at work the other day, I think it was yesterday, they were like, did you hear that Adam Silver is interested in doing a 1v1 tournament with $1 million on the line? I said, yeah. And then somebody else was like, well, what did they used to play for? I said, nigga, they used to play for pride, bro. They used to play for pride. That's what they used to play for, pride and bragging rights. Like Bama said, if it's East versus West, nobody has a problem with that. The only problem, the deep-rooted issue, is the players giving effort. That's it. If Kobe Bryant and Kevin Garnett are representing the Western Conference, do y'all think that we would have some sort of grit and will and want and effort and a good game overall, whether it goes down to the wire or not? Effort will be applied. It's the All-Star game used to be based on just simply dunks and no defense and things of that nature. But there was moments in time where you have players in the league that are willing to throw everything to the side for their pride as a basketball player to prove I am the best of the best, or we are the best of the best, or we represent the best conference, things like that. For me, Adam Silver is doing too many tournaments. We got an in-season tournament. We have a play-in tournament. We don't need an all-star tournament. We need the all-star game in and of itself and for players to care. So Kevin Durant coming out and saying, hey, guys, look, why don't we just get rid of it altogether since we all miserable, is completely honest. That's completely honest and genuine coming from an NBA player that we know out of every player in the league who is a certified hooper. That's coming from Kevin Durant, bro. Like, so to me, money shouldn't even be like $1 million incentive. What is $1 million incentive to players making millions? Like, that's nothing. That's not going to be enough to motivate you. Now, Team USA versus Team International might be enough to motivate you. If you see Nikola Jokic, SGA, Giannis, and Victor Wembanyama on the other side, while hearing the last 5 years that, oh, shit, you know, yeah, Team USA can win a gold medal, but damn them Europeans catching up. Imagine having to deal with that as opposed to simply West versus East. Now we're talking about the American players that we have homegrown having to literally put all of that shit to the side to say, okay, look, yeah, y'all may be good, but America still got this sport held down. That something like that will be motivating enough for me, not just West versus East, but literally putting your pride as an American hooper on the line just to give you something to care about. But look, that's just me. That's just me. What's y'all's thoughts? What's y'all
see? And that's where the problem lies in fixing the All-Star game, right? It's not that you need to do something creative, so to say, with the game. Is that you're trying to motivate players to be more competitive. And that's where the biggest issue, like, it'd be different if, like, it's nothing wrong with the format of basketball, right? We all know the format of basketball. That's basketball. You can keep it that. But the problem with the All-Star weekend is the players don't give a shit. And it's not even just about them being competitive against one another. Players haven't even cared. Like, for a while there, it turned into, all right, bet, like, we're basically going to have a glorified exhibition, but we're going to still put on a show. Players show up to All-Star weekend now. They don't even want to dunk a lot because they don't want to risk getting hurt, right? So now it's not even the show that it used to be an All-Star weekend either anymore. And we just see the competitiveness left, and it was still entertaining because you got to see LeBron go out there and throw alley-oops to whoever, right? Or Steph come out there and shoot crazy threes, whatever it was. There was still a fun aspect of it. Now it feels like it's almost a burden to the players. I always go back to Rasheed Wallace. Y'all remember the year that he basically begged the league not to make him all alternative because he had a vacation plan with his family, and then they made him an alternative anyway, and his wife got pissed at him. That's what every player feels like now at All-Star Weekend. Like it's more of a burden than a privilege, and it's hard to motivate that.
And to that point, and to Kevin Durant's point, do we just get rid of it entirely? Like, what do we do? I saw somebody post something about having another tournament idea, but you throw in guys who were almost all-stars to get an opportunity to go at guys that are, and then that's one tournament. And I'm like, dude, we don't need any of this. We don't need the All-Star game to become any more complicated than it already is. The fact that LeBron, Ramon James, literally in less than an hour, 30 minutes before the All-Star game says, I'm out, boys. Norman Powell, who's averaging his best numbers of his entire life, could have and should have been an all-star this year. Not to say he's a better player than my precious
Man,
king.
hell no. He ain't no damn all-star.
He's
good,
an
though.
all-star. No, gifted. The point is not first ballot, but replacement-wise. That's something that if he had gotten thrown in there, I wouldn't have batted an eye. The motherfucker's averaging like 26 a game. You can't bat an eye. Bro was desperately waiting for Paul George to get the hell out of LA. So come on now. Look, the point is the All-Star game itself, like Hayes was alluding to, it should not be this complicated. It genuinely shouldn't. It genuinely shouldn't. If it's West versus East, that's simple. There's your story right there. If you hear as an NBA player from NBA fans and the media that the Western Conference is the best conference and the East is nothing but a damn cesspool of mediocrity, if I'm from the Eastern Conference and I'm representing the Eastern Conference, I'm going to want to go at these guys, right? Wouldn't y'all want to do that? If you were a Bull and they said, hey, look, you might as well not even show up to All-Star Weekend because the West, they got KD, Prime, Russell Westbrook with Steph Curry. The 2016 All-Star game was the last All-Star game where I was like, you know what? That was a decent All-Star game. That was Kobe's last one. But even in that one, it was dunks and threes. Russell Westbrook throwing lobs and throwing shit down and hitting the nene at half court and shit. And Steph hitting the half court three. Kobe versus LeBron isolation. LeBron D Wade pass back and forth alley. Like we got everything that you need right there. It's just about the effort and everybody living in the moment and understanding that it's an all-star game as opposed to PTO. I don't know. It doesn't make sense. It just don't.
I mean, there's also something to like slowly but surely we're seeing like all-star games just don't matter anymore. Like, I mean, look at the Pro Bowl. Now I know that's a completely different sport because it is a contact sport. They do have to take it easier because you did have players at one point getting jacked up in the Pro Bowl. But like, it's like it's trash. Like it, and so I do think that there is something. I don't like the way that Kevin Durant went about it to act like, well, fans just want to complain. Well, hell, some of your players are complaining. Your commissioner's complaining. Like there are other people than just fans wanting to complain about All-Star Weekend. So that whole thought process of, well, just don't watch. Yeah, guess what? Hockey beat y'all this year. This is the first year that hockey beat the NBA during All-Star Weekend. So yeah, people aren't showing up. But we can't act like it's not a legitimate thing that even within the sport is being talked about. So you got to find a way to incentivize it. And I don't have the answer to that.
It pains me that I have to question, the great Adam Silver. But I've been thinking recently, like the NBA, and especially, I guess, since COVID, right? At the amount of shit that Adam Silver has had to implement or, innovative tactics to just spice things up. You can look at it one way and say he's doing a lot, right? As a commissioner, he's willing to try shit, which is great. Give him props there. But on the other hand, you're looking at it and you're saying, well, damn, how much do you need to innovate because it seems like people just aren't caring about the game anymore, aren't caring about the product. Shit, we had to implement an in-season tournament because from the months of October to December, fan interest was at a low. And then, of course, it would spark back up and it will spark back up post All-Star break. That always happens. But like still, the fact that you're having to do all of these things and like that's not the only thing that fans have been obsessed with, right? Like fans are still upset. Steph and his when the reporter asked him if there's anything that you would like to see changed or whatever, and his answer was a referee grading scale. Notice how Adam Silver ain't say shit about that. He didn't say shit about what Steph Curry said about a referee grading scale. He has said crickets, nothing.
What I'm finna say gonna probably ruffle y'all feathers. This is what I'm finna say.
Go ahead.
And this will fix it. Because I saw somebody in the chat somebody said get them more incentives. And they already, this is what blows my mind. And this is why I say I'm not trying to be old school, but sometimes some of them old school cats be right. They pay these players too much. We live in a day and age where a third option can get a $100 million contract. Literally, third, fourth option can get a $100 million contract. Why I'm saying that to say this? Sometimes, dog, no one fights harder than a starving dog. And these boys is too paid up. So when you get too paid up, all-star games become more of a chore. It's like, oh man, I got vacation. I got all of this going on. I don't want to deal with this. Instead of, bro, this is what you already signed up for when you became a professional athlete. Play all your games, whether they all-star games, playoff games, preseason games. Play all your games, bro, because in the beginning, it was all about getting the bag because them $100 contracts was very hard to come by. So it was all about let me get on the court any chance I get and showcase, really, I'm deserving of these contracts. But now when you get into the day and age of paying fourth string, fourth options, third options, these $100,000 contracts, it's the trickle effect. These people make way too much money. So now, yes, bro, I'm finna treat the All-Star game like it's a meet and greet. I get to play with my home. Like, oh, I get to play with Bron. I get to dap everybody up. But I'm not finna play as hard, bro. I'm not finna play as hard because y'all miss me because they need more money to like it's I can't understand this because if we do give them an incentive for the All-Star game. So on top of the crazy max contracts y'all get, because it's not no bench players that's in the All-Star game. These are all the best players in the league, all your super max and max contract guys. So you mean to tell me $1 million is gonna, or whatever whatever the prize got to be, that's really gonna move you and make you play harder when you're already a $300 million guy? Like $1 million is going to make you. No, it's going to be the same thing. So
here's what I'll say to that though, Bama, and I agree with you, right? But I'll say this is that all the All-Stars aren't all the 100. There are players that sneak into the All-Star that are on a $4 or $5 million contract. You give that player $1 million incentive, and he cooked, for example, Ja Morant. That may wake some things up. Now, I don't like the incentive in that, and I think that you hit on a great point that you may not even realize that you hit on. Do you know how much LeBron James' max contract was when he left Cleveland to go to Miami? $14 million. $14 million was the max contract for the best player in the game when he left Cleveland to go to Miami.
Wow.
$14 million now is the mid-level exception. That's how much the game has changed. So Bama hit on an amazing point right there. Go ahead, keep cooking, Bama.
I just think, like I said, man, I'm for my folks getting their money, bro, but it comes a point in time where we reached it. Like y'all said it, bro. You just brought it up earlier. 2007, man, was the hit heard around the world where Sean Taylor smacked the punter, bro. Now they're at the part where they're playing flag football. No, literally 2-3 years ago for the Pro Bowl, they played Madden if that don't let you know, bro, they are too paid up. Like, I don't know what will. And I feel like once you get back to those mega contracts are very hard to come by, like maybe you might be able to get a few players because at the end of the day, bro, I'm going to keep it a bean with y'all. Ain't nobody really trying to watch niggas like Norman Powell and them. Like, yes, he's having clap it up for him. Like, boy, you having a good year. You balling. You look like you better than some people that did play in the All-Star game. But if I guarantee you, if y'all put 12 Norman Powells up in the All-Star game, nobody is going to watch that shit. Even if they are playing hard. They could be out there playing drenched in sweat, jersey all stretched out. You are not going to watch 12 Norman Powells play in the All-Star game. Let's just be honest. It's not going to move you. So it's like we got to figure out how to make the players we want to see, the players we build the storylines around. How do we make them play harder? And I feel like maybe we could do the USA versus the world. Yeah, instead of just going against France, I want to see a team of Luka, Giannis, and Embiid. I would rather see that matchup and Wemby and them boys. I'd rather see that because now you can kind of do something to where you can make it very competitive. Like, yeah, y'all not from the USA, so it's just something to get the competitive juices going a little more. Or maybe they can do something where you take the college all-stars and you play some of the the NBA All-Stars. I don't know, but it's just something to where it can't be as buddy as it is. Like, Hayes, you hit it on the head. It's too buddy. Like it's almost like we going to a family reunion or a frat party. It's not like we going to watch hoops no more. It's just, oh, Kevin Hart, have fun. I feel like the best game, like seriously, bro. I like the idea of the one-on-one, but are they? I don't know how they gonna do that, because these male athletes, they're gonna have a lot of pride on the line. Is they gonna play hard against that? Like, could you imagine Jared McCain busting Steph ass in a one-on-one? Like what's the pride factor gonna be like?
But that's the thing.
You see what I'm saying? Like,
that's the thing, Bama. We're gonna have to see that though. Like, that's like, I get all of that, but I need to see these things, because there's no reason that the first time in NBA history that somebody three-peated a dunk contest, bro, is a G leaguer. That is a problem.
And another point on that, sometimes the realest nigga in the room ain't a nigga at all, because Kevin Love tweeting out the fact that when he said, if you want to get people upset about All-Star Weekend, how about the fact that Mac McClung has won the dunk contest 3 years in a row during Black History Month?
The balls he had a tweet that was fire.
The fact that Kevin Love said that. Like I said, sometimes the realest nigga in the room ain't a nigga at all, bro.
How much pride do you have? Go ahead.
I'm gonna be honest. None of this shit matters to me. That's not my problem with the All-Star game. My problem is we say year after year after year, oh, the players are good. But then when they have newer All-Stars that make the All-Star game, they get 5 minutes. Like, these newer players that have never been All-Stars that might give you the doll that you want to see, that might give you the show you want to see, are not getting the minutes in the game. Instead, the veteran players who don't give a fuck about the game are getting more minutes. If they don't want to play, sit them down, let the newer All-Stars get more burn and more overall play, right? I think that's another huge problem in the game itself. And also, like, they keep changing the format over and over and over, because when it was just East versus West, it got stale. So they said, okay, well, if we let them draft their own teams, maybe that'll be different. And it worked. But instead of repeating the process and trying to set a new precedent, once they had one down year, okay, we got to change it up again and again and again. And now it's changing around so much, no one has a sense of ease to understand what the game is going to be from year to year to year. You have to establish a precedent and stick to it, stick by that, right? Throwing something new every single year doesn't do anything but make it feel like it doesn't really matter, because next year it's not going to be the same thing. I generally feel like if you got players who are new All-Star players that got more burn and more tick in the game, you would bring the excitement back to the game alone just by doing that. If these older players are not giving you what you want to see, that's fine. But my biggest problem beyond all those things is, if you watch the All-Star game this year, the game wasn't the problem. They were a lot more competitive in the games this year. It was the production around it. The fact that we're playing multiple All-Star games, which, again, I would much rather you have one game, keep everything super simple. But the fact that they have multiple games, and in between the games, they have people doing sponsorship ad reads. Mr. Beast, like in the middle of games. So right after that, here's game 2, here's game 3. They spent 2 hours and 30 minutes doing these things, whereas the actual game of basketball is played for 33 minutes. For a full 3-hour slot, the majority of your time isn't the game, is the thing outside of the game. And that's what makes people antsy. That makes people who just tune into their illegal stream not want to watch it anymore, because it's like, what is this? Like, they're not playing. No one wants to hear Kevin Hart make the same short joke he's been making for 15 years. I'm good off that. So to me, it's like, if you want to have a better product beyond the players, you have to be consistent with your production. That's what I'm looking at.
To Gifted's point about hitting the panic button, Hayes, Gifted, Bama, you're new to the show, but Hayes and Gifted, how many times have y'all heard me on this show say things about teams such as the Los Angeles Lakers hitting the panic button too soon, forcing their hand to make a trade, putting everything out on the table to win a championship? Like I said before, love Adam Silver. You know what I'm saying? It's like Caillou if he grew up. But at the same time, everything that I love about Adam Silver from a standpoint of he has a willingness to listen to the fans to an extent and then make a slight little change and try and be innovative. too much at once can be a problem. That was what the All-Star game was. The fact, like Gifted alluded to, the fact that you had to that you brought out Kevin Hart, I wasn't even mad at them bringing out Kevin Hart. As soon as he came out, they said, yeah, 3-time celebrity NBA All-Star MVP Kevin Hart. Makes sense, right? Makes sense. Cut his mic time. Don't give him more than 5 to 6 lines. Him and Shaq, big man, short man combo, great. Get back to the damn basketball. SGA was on camera multiple times looking pissed off at the fact that the game itself was being interrupted. It's almost as if, like, I felt like literally, I almost felt like I'm watching this presentation, I'm watching these commercials and shit from the Super Bowl that just passed over, and it feels like the game itself is interrupting that. Like, that's what the problem was. I should not feel that way about NBA All-Star Weekend. What the like?
I'm gonna keep it a bean with y'all, bro. This is where I challenge Adam Silver, bro. He ain't got no nuts, man. Because I feel like now, because we could talk about David Stern, and we felt like he was more of a dictator, and it was all about the company, right? It was all about the franchise, not the player. Well, with Adam Silver, I feel like the inmates are running the asylum right now. They get to play, they get to pick and choose when they want to play. They got this load management bullshit. We try to navigate. We do all this. I want to go team up with my homie because I like him over here, and it's good. You got to let me do it. Like, bro, I just feel like we need to get to a part. I don't know if this will make the overall All-Star game happy, but for instance, Zion and Ja, they should have made it mandatory when they sign their NBA contract. You got to at least give me one slam dunk competition. You pick the year, but y'all got to at least have one. Because
that's getting into slave. You can't make if you make somebody it's making my league. These are the guys that draw us in. Yeah, but they're not going to draw us in if their heart isn't in it, and you make them do a dunk contest, and they both out there giving shitty ass performances.
Go play basketball and get to the NBA. Like, what do you mean? How my heart not gonna be in it? This literally like 30 minutes out of your day, bro. Go give me one dunk competition.
No, like, look.
This is going to attract my fans. So now as a fan, I know eventually I'm going to see Zion in the slam dunk competition. Mm-hmm. Eventually, I'm going to see Ja Morant. Eventually, I'm going to see these dudes. Bro, don't give me what was my boy? Don't give me Jeremy Evans. Don't give me Matt McClung. 3 years bro. He has more slam dunk competition points than he do in the NBA. Don't give me him.
Man, you saying don't give me Matt McClung, but he's been one of the best dunkers actually in the competition.
You want people that are passionate about it
because no one else has signed up for it.
But to that point,
Matt McClung can beat Ja Morant in the dunk.
I'm sorry. Have you seen Matt McClung dunk the basketball? Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
McClung can beat Ja Morant in the
dunk contest. Yeah.
It's at this point, Bama, to your point, let me pick it back off of it real quick. So what Bama just said, right, is I don't think that they should implement into the contract that you better do this. But like at the same time, what they need to do is players who should be in the dunk contest need to at least try to be in the dunk contest. To Bama's point, if Matt McClung is the star attraction to the dunk contest,
that's a problem.
It's a problem, right?
Yeah.
It's a problem.
Yeah, that's fair.
Now, to that point, we saw Ja Morant tweet out, damn, I might have to lace him up. Giannis, oh shit. Now, because Mac McClung literally had to save the dunk contest to make players want to participate in the dunk contest, like that, therein lies the problem. Players looked at and the problem is, how do the superstar players look at the dunk contest? Now, Stephen A. Smith has said on numerous occasions that LeBron James is the reason that the dunk contest lost its aura. I don't necessarily agree 100%, but to an extent, I will say when LeBron said, damn, I'm gonna book me down for the dunk contest next year, and then ghosted them motherfuckers.
Ghosted
for 15 years. Like, we're still waiting 15 years later. Like, where are you at?
I vividly remember this. The year he turned it down, bro. They was playing like Milwaukee, and the nigga literally jumped from the free throw line in game, stole the ball, jumped from the free throw line in game. It's like, bro, Brian, Like, why are you playing, Bron? Like,
that's what I'm saying.
Don't do this. Like, why would you do this, bro? Like, because I get what y'all saying. Maybe Matt McClung would beat Ja in the dunk competition, but we don't fucking know. We don't know.
Exactly.
I seen Ja dunk
I know.
on Wendy.
I don't have to see Ja in the dunk contest to know that Matt
I know Matt
McClung
McClung
would
could beat him in
absolutely
dunk
wax
contest.
the floor with Ja Morant.
Stephon Castle, when he
Undoubtedly.
caught that joint off the
Nasty dunk.
Stephon Castle.
No, but here's the thing. When like Stephon was my dark horse to win it anyway, I was like, bro, that's the one that nobody's talking about. Every year for the last 5 years, I've watched the dunk contest and said to myself, there's at least one player that nobody's really talking about here.
Mm-hmm.
And ironically, in the last 3 of them at least, Mac McClung has outshined each and every single one.
His first dunk was over the car and got it on his second try, bro. Like
over the actual car, the actual car,
over the actual car.
Not over the hood.
No one talks about the Blake shit where like he kind of like Mac legit went over and then under, bro.
Yeah, they wanted that Blake shit to live in infamy, but now it's Mac McClung's version that's gonna live in.
That's Mac shit now.
His sponsorship shit, but nonetheless, like the point about the players, if you have a Ja Morant, a Giannis Antetokounmpo, a LeBron James, Anthony Edwards, shit, throw them in there. So you have players like that. The problem that I have is they're the best in-game dunkers for sure. But in a dunk contest, creativity matters. There are more than 100 dunks that have not been attempted in the dunk contest. So for anybody that says, you can't do any more dunks, screw that. You can. It's about your creativity. Mac McClung pulled out a ladder in the 3rd round after pulling out a car in the 1st. That's creativity. Yeah. That's him saying to himself, Stephon, Bazelis, and Andre Jackson Jr. are probably thinking, I'm gonna do some behind the back East Bay shit. I'm gonna pull out a Kia. Like all it takes is the creativity sometimes, and then the execution itself to really get you over that hump. Ja Morant, to Bama's point, I agree. Ja's creativity, with his creativity, he's probably got some shit we ain't even seen before. That would be perfect for a display only on the stage of the dunk contest. So, go ahead, Gifted. Go ahead.
I do feel like the biggest problem with this, though, and again, I haven't cared about the dunk contest since probably Zach LaVine, Aaron Gordon days, most likely.
Right.
The biggest problem with this stuff for me is also fan appreciation for the dunks. I've seen so many dunks that are great, amazing dunks that don't get the love that they should from either the fans or also the judges doing it. And it's like you can't control people to make them be in the actual dunk contest straight up if they don't want to do it. To me, it's just a matter of getting consistency in terms of the people and the caliber of player you're able to get into it. But to me, that takes like an entire culture reset of what the dunk contest means in the NBA, right? Like you have to have actual people judging basketball to be the judges. I don't want to see Jesser, and shout out to him, but I don't want to see him be like a judge in the actual dunk contest, right? There needs to be a complete revamp in terms of how they're looking at the entire process of how they find people and find talent. Straight up, I don't know what you want me to do if the stars in the league don't want to do the contest. If they don't want to do it, they don't want to do it. All you can do is try to influence and change the production of how these things are to make them want to do it.
That just sounds so
mute
weird,
is easy.
Like they don't want to do. Like, bro, that sounds like a spoiled ass child, bro. Like,
it is.
They don't want to do it. Like, bro, what are you talking about, bro? You hit a lick on life, bro. Like, you get the
hit a lick on life is wild.
He's not wrong though. He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
Lick you hit on life, bro. Like a lick. So what are you talking about? You don't want. What I don't want to do is pay half my check and pay my rent with it. That's what I don't want to do.
Yeah,
but you niggas is living good, bro. Like, bro, give me a little, bro. I feel like, bro, we are just begging for crumbs, bro. Like, bro, like, come on, bro. Like, at once upon a time, bro, you knew you was gonna see Michael Jordan. You knew you was gonna see Dominique Wilkins. You knew you was gonna see Kobe. You knew you was gonna see Vince in these competitions. It wasn't even, how do we get these people to come do it? They was just doing it for the love of the game, bro. They was just doing it, bro. Like everything don't have to be so much, bro. You didn't got your money, bro. Like everything's so money driven. It's just corny now, bro, because now we begging some rich people to just do their job. But their job is to just play for these teams. No, their job is to play for the NBA in all facets of it. All-Star game, playoffs, preseasons, bro. I'm so sick of bailing these NBA players out, bro. They talking about a big incentive. Bro, fuck the big incentive is they contract they already got. What are you talking about?
Listen, Bama. I hear everything you're saying, but again,
it's annoying, bro. Like,
we got to focus on the realism, though, right?
More porridge, please.
All that sounds cool. All that sounds cool. What is the actual result of what we're talking about, though? Because regardless of how you feel don't matter. The All-Stars have to show the effort. So what's going to get that effort out of them? There's no way in hell with the money that they are making, with the agents and everything happening in the modern day, that they will rework a CBA to make it a forced thing that they had to do.
The Players Association
that would never happen.
They'll never sign off on that.
Bro, but like, dog, like it.
Pirate had a good idea in the chat. Pirate said that the dunk contest should only be open to people who make the All-Star game.
I'm cool with that.
I'm cool.
Yeah. See, now that's
a good idea.
And here's another thing too. To each and every single one of y'all's point, including Pirate, love you, Pirate. Think about how players who want to become All-Stars, like in the weeks leading up to All-Star selection, think about how hard they fucking ball out. And think about how pissed they are when they don't make it. And then all these conversations, like from people like us, start of who got snubbed and who didn't, just for a situation like Trae Young. Prime example. Trae Young gets the All-Star game. An All-Star game for the next foreseeable future should not have Trae Young, should not have Trae Young in it. Trae Young is built for an All-Star game. Players like Chris Paul also built for an All-Star game. They'll take the fun elements of it while still giving you production.
Yeah.
Chris Paul just got caught cheating in the skills competition.
Chris Paul later in his life,
I was such a Chris Paul ass thing to do. Two Hayes. I swear to God, man. When I seen that, I'm like, man, that's Chris Paul, bro.
That was so much. I saw people was like, oh well, that was probably Wemby decision. I said, look at what the hell just happened.
Man, Chris Paul was
you mean to tell me you think Wemby thought of that? No, that was Chris Paul all the way, bro.
Come on, man.
So either way, but take a player like Wemby in the All-Star game, in the championship that I fell asleep to, in the championship, Victor was out there trying, right? SGA was out there trying. They was out there literally trying to do everything they could to win. Now, here's the crazy part. When I look at all of that, like I just said, you take the NBA leading up to All-Star selections and how players will play for that shit, or post All-Star break when players like Joel Embiid in 2023 are playing for an MVP award, how hard they play, how much effort they give just to get to the big game and be like, all right, whatever, it is what it is. I'm here now. I feel like to get this point, that's something that's out of anybody's control other than the players. Because you can want to get there, but how you are when you get there is basically what the issue is. So what fixes do y'all suggest? Do y'all think, like Pirates, that actually could be implemented in the next 5 years?
Here's the thing, though. It all comes down to the same thing, though. You can't, and it's a mixture between your point and Bama's point. If you can't motivate people who are out there getting to play a game for a living, making millions of dollars, I don't know how you can motivate millionaires, bro. I just don't know, because we can come up with the most creative thought process on what the game should look like in the criteria, but unless the players give a shit, none of this is going to change, bro. Now, for the dunk contest, I would love to see the NBA move away from NBA players, bring in the best dunkers from around the world, let that be them showcase. Matter of fact, let the NBA players all pick one dunker from across the world to sponsor, and they come to do the dunk contest, because I think that would be crazy, right? But as far as the All-Star game itself with actual NBA players, I don't even know anymore, man.
I just think one of y'all said it earlier. They need to use more the newer players, and I know Trae Young is not a super newer player, but he's kind of newer to the rotation. And you saw when Trae Young got up in there, threw the ball up, Kyrie, nutmeg, Curry,
crazy.
His energy, like it was, bro. I'm trying to make you look bad. Y'all out here trying to be homies. I'm trying to make y'all look bad. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like for me, it's that, but it's also just the consistent production of shit, right? I never again want to see a All-Star game where you have 4 to 5 games and you're running ads in between. Like, it just takes too long to where people aren't in and out for the game itself. I feel like the system that they had where they had a target score with also, I believe, the entire elim ending, that was good. But they went away from it because they had 1 year where it didn't look good. My thing is having a consistency about that, giving younger players more minutes in the game, I think is a huge part of that as well. And consistently just churning that product out over and over and over. This felt way more ad driven.
That's what I'm saying. Like the thing that pissed me off the most is like I was literally saying to myself, this All-Star game, this 2025 NBA All-Star presentation has more ads than the Super Bowl did, and it's the All-Star game.
And the In Vogue concert, I'm good on that. Like I'm good for the mid-quarter concert, shit like that. Like, what are you trying to sell us on here, right? We came to watch basketball.
And you out here trying to sell us on what? Jazz? Name one Utah Jazz player that was there. Like what are we doing, bro? Come on now. We be don't nobody want to hear and shout out Jello. If anything, the one positive highlight was
hilarious.
Implementing something that is within the NBA and basketball culture in Jello and Tweaker, the remix, which was meh. But like at the same time, let Jello perform. Let Lonzo introduce him.
That Jello performance was absolute shit. And I hate every one of you niggas that's made that song be a thing. I'm letting everybody know right now. I hate every one of you country ass niggas that made that song, that whack ass, trash ass song.
Bills, they're $1 billion franchise. They're $1 billion corporation, my nigga.
I mean, ads pay bills, but
I ain't trying to hear that. They not an upstart company.
They've never had the ads turned up like they were last year.
Already locked it. They already have a monopoly. There's no other leagues out here that rivals them. They got their money.
But you got to keep making money. You're gonna have to have ads because you got to keep making money.
I'm fine with that. It's the placement of the ads. It has never been like it before.
You have the pregame, you have halftime, and you have after the game. That's your time to push your shit.
Exactly.
We don't need all that in the middle of the game.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, they was $1 billion corporation before they had all them ads though. That's just the easier way for them to keep the billion. But y'all got it, bro. Again, bro, it's just everybody just trying to milk this shit until it gets to the part to where it's just unwatchable. We just go milk everything, and then it's gonna reset sooner or later. It's gonna reset to where the league gonna have to take a break for some years. It's gonna reset because y'all trying to milk it so much, bro, till you can't milk it to where everybody just another cup of porridge, please, just a little bit, just a little, bro, until it's just gonna be like, bro, you know what, man, fuck this shit. I just rather watch Euro. I just rather watch Euro League. I'd rather go over there and watch Shaq and the Olympicos. I'd rather do it because when I turn on American TV, we got niggas, bro, ads pay the bills, bro. Because somebody lying to me, y'all making a shit ton of money on a year-to-year basis. But you telling me we need ads to pay the bills, man? Fuck up out of here. I'm finna go over there and watch Euro basketball. It's better. It's better hoops anyway, man. Y'all killing me, bro. Y'all go milk it until there's nothing left, bro.
Well, like, I mean, ads is just part of airing on TV. You're gonna see ads regardless.
It's not about ads for me. It's about the placement of where the ads are.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it.
It's about the overall.
You can give me a little quality, bro. I can't get a little pat on the back every now and then. You just got to take me fast all day, every day. Every day you got to swindle me. Every day I come to you, bro, you swindling me, bro. Like, bro, relax.
And they about to sign that 11 year 77.
Man, new money coming in. I'm not
about to. So that's the thing too.
That's gonna happen.
Is like, I was talking about this too. Like to Bama's point about them potentially banning shit. Like they banned the All-Star game at one point. I think it was in '98 because the same discourse was going on. There's the same old dunks and all this shit. Like, so they've been to the breaking point before. Mind you, this is a league that we have seen have numerous lockout years. So it's like the NBA can reach a tipping point, a boiling point where shit needs to get fixed right now. When it comes to the All-Star game, I feel like honestly, the fact that fans, the media, and players, which I want to get into Draymond's comments, the fact that it's starting to become a universal discussion is an issue. Even though Oscar Robertson said, Draymond, respectfully, keep your mouth shut and keep passing the ball to Steph. Stay out of grown folks' business. Like, even if Draymond Green, like, here's my thing with that too, which is funny. I thought what Big O said was disrespectful. However, Big O is someone who averaged 25, 7, and 9. He is somebody that was the first Russell Westbrook, nigga. So like I can't say much. And to this point, I don't remember like what was Draymond's last All-Star highlight? Tell me. Both of y'all, any of y'all, anybody in the chat. What was Draymond Green's last All-Star game highlight?
Said Draymond.
Alley to LeBron, 3 years ago, I think.
So to your point, what I was about to say was before y'all even get to it in the chat, it's a pass. It's not a bucket. It's a pass. So Oscar Robertson's right regardless. Like either way, what benefit does Draymond Green have being on the All-Star floor as is besides passing? Defense, nigga, it's the All-Star game. Don't nobody need your defense. 3-point shooting, miss me with that, bro. Like, come on now. So Draymond was in a bit of a tussle there. But either way, both men were right about it. Draymond's whole response to it being that the game is boring. I think he was talking about from a more general perspective, like the game is boring. It is literally running up and down and shooting threes. To that point, I agree. But I just wanted y'all to get y'all's thoughts on that. Like, who was right in that situation, Draymond or Big
O? Yeah. So for me, my thing is I don't think Draymond was wrong about the way he felt, right? Working hard to make the All-Star game. And then when you finally make it, there's players that haven't been All-Stars that are playing on the same court as you on All-Star Sunday. I can understand his perspective from that point. I think that's perfectly fine. All the other shit about the game today, all this and all that, like I felt that was kind of weird because people always say, oh yeah, you had Jordan, Charles Barkley, all this and all that. But an average 90s game was not some high level shit every single time. No, like there was always stale basketball in the 90s. Just like today, there's games that are also stale. To me, that's a regular part of matchups. You're going to have trash teams that play really good teams and the product isn't going to be good. Or what?
The good point in that too, though, Gifted, is the fact that back in the 90s, every team wasn't. You could watch every team every night if you want to, right? Like there were trash ass teams that had no chance of sniffing national TV back in the day.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's always been trash teams.
Yeah. So like that part of his comment, I'm like that doesn't really matter as much because it's like you're not gonna see high level basketball 24/7 in any era. It like. I don't care how much talent you have that's there. That's always going to be a thing. So that doesn't really bother me. But for him to then say that the All-Star game should be something that's really dedicated to only All-Stars, I don't have a problem with that. That's a fair way to feel to me. But the reason why that's happening can be lost. The reason why they're bringing in these young guys who have not been All-Stars is because the actual All-Stars don't care. So the sense of pride to not lose to these guys who are not All-Stars is what made the actual games that were played fun to watch, right? The problem, again, is everything around the All-Star games that made it an issue for me this year. The games themselves actually weren't that bad.
What's y'all's thoughts on the 3-point contest overall as just an All-Star game weekend thing? Like, what's y'all's thoughts on it overall?
That's been like the best shit for the past 5-6 years now.
Right. So it's like
since it's been a context because the best shooters actually participate in it. The same thing like in the NBA. If the known best, do you remember how happy and satisfied we left in 2016 with Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon because we knew what they like to do. Like they claimed the fame was dunking.
That's true.
We was like, oh man, they in the dunk contest. Everybody's like, I wonder what they gonna do. Even if they didn't do as good as they did, they gave us what we wanted because they were known for this thing and they gave it to us.
Yeah, I agree. They were known, but it wasn't even just that. Like they were known for like somebody in the chat said, well, it's not like every year superstars participate in the dunk contest. That's not what we're asking for. Kobe Bryant, right, didn't need to participate in the dunk contest post 2004, really. Maybe 2006, if we're being generous. But like a young Kobe makes sense. Vince Carter didn't need to do the dunk contest in 2006 or 7. His moment had passed already. And plus, like we said earlier in the show, it shouldn't be implemented into a contract or anything. But if you are really good at one specific thing, for example, if LeBron was a career 40% three-point shooter, would he have participated in more three-point contests? Probably. because it's the one thing that he would be hypothetically really good at. Steph, and to Bama's point about 2016, we got to see Steph versus Clay in the 3-point shooting contest.
Yeah.
And then the NBA realizing that not only is the dunk contest failing, but the 3-point contest is starting to get a little into the murky waters. How about we give you Steph Curry, the greatest shooter God ever created, and the best shooter from the W, Sabrina? How about we put them together? So, like, at the very least, the 3-point contest is something that consistently can be great because they stick to the same script. Whereas the dunk contest, I think people's pride is going to be tested a little bit more because, like you said, Ja Morant, right, is one of the best in-game dunkers. I would think that he could be creative for a dunk contest. You want to know who I think couldn't be that creative for a dunk contest? Someone like Victor Wembanyama. But even still, Victor Wembanyama would probably participate in it if push came to shove. And because he's 7'4", he probably would figure something out to entertain it. Something. Shit, I saw JaVale McGee dunking on 2 goals at one point. Dwight Howard won one before. So like there's guys that fit the mold and fit the criteria that can make the dunk contest just as relevant and consistent, like Gifta said, as 3-point contest has been the last 5 years. But
I mean, but then there's also the third option that no one wants to just admit to. We don't have to watch. Like me, listen, I'm
That's
fine
true.
with this shit being asked at this point because I'm just saying it's not for me. Now, if they get more younger players in there to play more, like I'll be more in tune for sure, maybe. But to me, it's like I don't expect the All-Star game every year to be great. I don't, right? There's gonna be sometimes where it's like, wow, that was really good. Wow, Steph had 16 made threes in the same contest in Cleveland. That was a fun game, right? But year to year is just not the same product. Like, I feel like that's going to shift a lot based on who actually makes the All-Star games. And that is such a variable that shifts from year to year to year. So I understand that. The other events, like I do think the 1v1 has real potential because anyone can dominate at a 1-on-1 if you've been tapped into, I would say, the W, right? Like their own versions of it. They had a star player in Breonna Stewart get her shit cooked. 0-12, right? Like that's what makes it fun because anyone in the NBA can beat someone in a 1v1 thing. How they're going to format a schedule, I don't know, but I'm more excited for that than caring about trying to fix the All-Star game. Honestly.
No, what made it good was Breonna Stewart took that L like a real champ. Like once she got her ass whooped, she got her ass whooped. She didn't start playing timid. She just got her ass whooped, bro, by a better player. In the NBA, what the problem is gonna happen, they gonna do the same shit what they doing right now. It's gonna be somebody up in there and they gonna have play. They just gonna shoot threes the whole time. They gonna do some bullshit to where it's not as organic as the women's 1v1. Like those ladies right there are hooping. They are hooping against each other. Like they don't care. I don't think that, like I said it in the beginning, bro. I don't think Steph Curry is just gonna try his hardest. Once Jared McCain really start working him in a 1v1 game, he's not just gonna, it's all the other top players that go like, man, I ain't trying to, because what's gonna happen is there's gonna be people on the internet. Steph Curry lost to fucking Jared McCain. Blah, 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 blah. Fingernail paint. What? Blah, 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 blah. And once that happened, they're going to treat that 1v1 the same way. I ain't finna go out there. They're going to pull a LeBron. I ain't playing in this. They're going to do it all, bro. It's going to start out good the first year where you get a lot of top players doing it. But once somebody get popped by somebody they shouldn't get popped by, and we start blah, they finna do the same thing. Oh man, I don't feel like playing this, bro. It's a waste of time. I need another incentive, bro. I need $2 million to play this, bro. It's go resort back to the same thing. We gotta figure out how to make these guys love the game they've dedicated their whole lives to again.
But that's why with the 1-on-1 tournament, though, like that
you.
comes down to who sets the precedent, though, right? Like who is setting the
I'm
precedent for the
also
first year of it.
Every All-Star game ain't gotta be cinematic because I know that's just not realistic. But it's like, bro, it can't be what we getting right now, though. It just can't be. Like, I don't know. I don't know really. I don't know how you're gonna get more millionaires to play harder, bro. Besides, take some of that.
it goes back to what we said though. Like the one time that like players were there was starting to become a trend of players that were starting to look at the Olympics and just like, been there, done that. And it took an American track star's comments to make us get the Avengers to assemble. So to Bama's point a little bit, like chirping from the outside can play a factor, can be influential in motivating basketball players to, do their job. But at the same time, like the way I see it is you can look at it that way, but if what it really boils down to is what Gifted said earlier, which is like these are the NBA players that at the end of the day, this is what they want to do. We have the most talented era of hoopers ever, but the worst will and determination ever. I remember a few years back when I would hear Kobe Bryant debates and somebody would bring up Mamba mentality and how people were trying to downplay that like that wasn't a real thing and or something that influenced a generation of hoopers. But it's real. The players that Kobe trained, you can see still have that dog in them. Kyrie Irving, right?
Yeah.
That, you know what I'm saying? Like that just are of that breed of player. Players that Hakeem has trained before. You can see their influence rubbing off of them. Victor Wembanyama reads books before games. You can see influence like literally glowing off of the new generation. So, having said that, we have the most talented generation of hoopers ever. The will isn't there. There is no, and for me, Hayes, Bama, and Gifted, there is no like there is no other way around that. Like I can't just excuse that because Michael Jordan, who played 13 to 14 years, give or take a couple of breaks, 9 times 82 games. John Stockton didn't know what a day off was for a 19-year career. Like the players before us, Oscar Robertson, even his comments, bro was the leader, president of Players Association, fought to get players paid more that now we're raking in millions today. So he was a pioneer in player free agency and player will and player freedom, right? I don't want to hear any excuses because the players before us went through worse shit, worse times, a worse league, worse contracts. Scottie Pippen was getting paid pennies at a dime to be the second best player on the best team in basketball for an 8-year stretch. You didn't hear that nigga complaining. He was showing up to work. I gave it take, the Last Dance season, but whatever. The point is, it's like, dude, our generation be on some BS sometimes. You're getting paid millions. Play the game. Play the game. Just play the game. The All-Star game itself used to be something that was sacred. Like Draymond said, it used to be sacred. Now it's just shit. What else is on?
I'll probably say the only way they can save it, make it USA versus the world, bro. Because I will say this. The reason why I say that, because when it come to Team USA, they had to tell Kawhi Leonard, hey, bro, you got to sit down. Because that wasn't a Kawhi Leonard decision. He was going to play for Team USA until they figured out with his knee and they sat him down. So I feel like for some reason, I feel like in a sense, when you make it a us versus them type narrative, they'll at least muster up some type of wherewithal to want to do it. So I feel like the only way you possibly could save the All-Star game, do a Team World versus a Team USA and let them go at it, because I feel like that little versus kind of get the players going, because I just look at it in a sense, them guys want to play for Team USA, right? In the summer. I know it's every 4 years, but from what I see, them dudes actually want to be on Team USA. So I think, to me, this is what I think. I think the reason for that being is it's not as friendly. It's a USA versus France versus wherever. It's a us versus them type of mentality. It's not all buddy, because I feel like now the All-Star game, I want to play with my homie. I'm out here, Kevin Hart out here. What up, Kevin? Like, we homies. Like, I feel like it's more of a buddy event. And they got to figure out how to make it more of a competitive type us versus them type situation. And that's the only way I know to do it.
We'll see. I mean, at the end of the day, like I said, I don't know how much you can because even if you don't have that competitive nature, because let's not act like players aren't friends with people from other countries now. Like there's could become friendly too. Like you just got to give a damn, and you can't make players give a damn.
That's true.
Yep.
So we'll see what happens with that one. But overall, fellas, we got a little bit of time left here, man. We've been talking a lot about All-Star Weekend and whatnot, but something happened before All-Star Weekend, and we did not get a chance to talk about that. I think we need to talk about
a lot happened actually before All-Star Weekend.
Yeah, but one specific thing, I don't know. It's certain moments that you remember where you are. The decision, I remember exactly where I was, what was going on at that point in time. Derrick Rose tearing his ACL, I remember that.
Don't remind
exactly
me
where I was. Luka Doncic getting traded to the Los Angeles Lakers is one of those moments that nobody will ever forget where they are if you're a basketball fan.
Let me tell my story. So this on this particular morning, I had to wake up. You know what I'm saying? I woke up around 7:30. Had to take a piss. You know what I'm saying? After a while, I'm in the bathroom, brushing my teeth, just doing my normal morning routine. I check my phone. And when I checked my phone, because I remembered when I woke up, I immediately checked my phone, went through, did one little scroll on Instagram, just one little scroll just to wake up, eyes barely open. And I saw Luka in a Laker jersey, right? Mind you, I see that. I put my phone down like I'm telling you, it's crack of dawn. I ain't nothing going on in my head. Go fast forward to me in the bathroom. I look at my phone again, and I'm seeing more Luka Laker jerseys, and I'm seeing Anthony Davis Maverick pictures and graphics. And then I started saying, I'm not dreaming. This is what the hell? So I'm looking at comments. I went to Twitter. I went to Facebook. I went everywhere. Oh my God, this is real. Go back to bed. I couldn't go back to sleep, right? My girl wake up. She like, why can't you go back to sleep? What are you doing? I said, Luka Doncic just got traded. She said, the guy from the Mavericks? I said, yo, like this is how crazy this is. She knew what I was talking about. And the idea of this even happening is just I can't. One of the most shocking days of my life, genuinely.
Yeah. I'm gonna follow up. I wasn't asleep when it happened. Specifically, I was playing the game. I was on Marvel Rivals with my boy, who's also a tremendous NBA fan, right? And we're playing it, and like mid-round in a competitive ass game, like we boxing and shit, it happens, and then he yells, what? And I'm thinking, okay, he's yelling at me, basically laughing around, and he tells me they traded Luka. I'm like, cap, bullshit, cap, right? So then I check my phone. When I see the Shams tweet and I see the Shams report, the first thing I say is phone got hacked. That's not real. Everyone in the chat can 100% co-sign this. When people saw the Shams tweet, everyone said Shams got hacked. Everyone said there's no way that happened. The fact that Shams had to follow up and say this is real, this is a real trade, is how insane the idea of trading Luka Doncic really is. Because even the trade package really sounded fake. So he got traded for Anthony Davis, one unprotected pick, one unprotected pick, and Max Christie. Like that's like the main value out of the trade. Like it's not just him getting traded. It's the fact that he got traded for that little of a return for a guy that we thought was completely untouchable. Right. And now to me, like the word untouchable has to really be super analyzed in depth, because for Luka to be traded at this age, clearly something got to be going on, because their reasoning for trading Luka was what, right? His way and like defense when champion, all this other bullshit, which makes no sense, by the way, because the franchise player in Dirk was never a defensive player first. He was an offensive guy who had a very good defense around him, and that pairing won them titles, right? Whenever they go into the finals with him, they have had great rosters with great defense. Luka Doncic was just on a team that was a top 10 defense in the league when they went to the title last year. So for you to make the finals and then trade him out of nowhere, out of the blue, and then for Nico Harrison to come up to the press conference with Jason Kidd and say, oh yeah, no one knew about this. Actually, we talked about this over coffee. It was a joke. I was laughing at first, but then we really started to entertain, yo, what if we did this? You look like a fucking fool. right?
You do.
After that, he then followed up and said, "Yo, like I tried to get Dalton Connect and some more picks, but he talked me out of it." Like,
how do you get talked out of that?
How do you traded a 25-year-old perennial MVP candidate? You shouldn't get talked out of anything. And you know what else pissed me off about this is that they only talked to the Lakers. I know afterwards it came out. Well, no, they actually tried with other. I don't believe none of that bullshit.
Nobody over the Lakers.
Not at least do a bidding war for one of the most talented 25 and under players in the NBA. You took the first deal on the table.
Yes. It's literally business 101, Hayes, for you to not start a bidding war for Luka Doncic to get a big return. But that's why people think that there is a conspiracy behind it, because the shit don't make no sense. Because factually speaking, that's what you normally would do if you're trying to shop a player. The fact that you did it behind closed doors makes people think some foul plays out there, because you don't trade a guy at 25 years old because his weight is way too much, because his overall work ethic isn't where you want it to be. We've seen so many star players be that. And the fact that the owner came out and mentioned Shaq as one of those players, when we all know Shaq, as good as he was, had those same exact issues but won titles. That's
and they
bullshit.
got rid of his ass. They got rid of him.
Yeah.
When it boiled down to make the decision, who should go forward with, Shaq or Kobe? They went with the workout fiend, bro. We not finna cape for people that just being out of shape, bro, that just keep bending the rules. Keep your ass in shape, bro. Like, that's like point, plain and simple. Learn how to get some conditioning so you can play, at least be competent on other ends of the floor. Yes, bro. Was he one of the Dallas players? Yes. Did he take them to a Western Conference Finals? But bro, he put so much, for us, what I'm looking at with that, this is just from the casual standpoint.
I'm listening. I'm listening.
I'm listening
to you.
Tripping. I thought it was a joke at first when my cousin was like, "Oh," he was like, "Oh shit, Luka on the Lakers." I'm like, he don't watch hoop. I'm like, what the fuck, like, bro, shut up.
Right? Yeah, yeah.
And he was like, bro, I'm not joking. Luka on the Lakers. I'm like, it's no fucking way that. Who the fuck did the Lakers get rid of?
Everybody said that. Everybody said that.
Anthony Davis. So the more and more I kept thinking about it, I'm like, Anthony Davis can't stay healthy on the Lakers to save his life. And this dude over here just want to be fat and out of shape on the team he on. So what's one way to get these millionaires remotivated again? Oh, you comfortable? Not no more. Shipped out of here. Bye. So what's going to happen is now Luka is going to start working out because he's around the perfect person. LeBron, genetically, well, I ain't gonna say genetically, but Luka and Bron are basically the same person. Luka's just a more skilled version, and LeBron is just a more athletic version of whatever that genetic makeup.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
But they basically are literally the same basketball.
Same skill set. Same skill set.
Luka is just more skilled than whatever LeBron is. Luka is just the more skilled version in that, and whatever Luka is, Bron is just more of a freakish athletic version in that.
Yeah.
But I will say this. That being, Bron takes care of his body. Attrition. He puts $1 million. He eats the right things. I feel like that is what Luka needed to see firsthand, because somebody just coming up and tell Luka, oh, get in shape, do this, do that, do that. But now if I can visually see somebody similar to me doing those exact things, I'm going to be more inclined to pick up those habits because I'm seeing someone that's similar to who I am.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's Bron, but I'm just saying they skill sets, what they do on the court is similar to the same.
Yeah, IQ.
I think you're going down a different path because I get all that, right? But you don't trade and get Max Christie back in the first round pick to prove a point that Luka can learn to stay healthy. Like you put your franchise in a disadvantage for that, even if you wanted to move on from Luka, right? Which, all right, cool. The way that they went about moving on from Luka was the most idiotic way to set your friend. You could have set your friend. You could have been OKC. You could have been the Houston Rockets with stacking up assets for the future if you're going to move on from Luka. Instead, you got a guy that we call street clothes, Max Christie, and a first-round pick that's probably going to end up being in the 20s. That's not what you do when you move on from a player like Luka.
And that's my problem with the trade because, again, if we're going off of what the reasoning was, we traded Luka Doncic because he's not taking it seriously like these other great players. He's out of shape, work ethic. But to me, all that's bullshit because all of those things for a player of Luka Doncic's caliber can be learned at age 25. He's not 30 years old.
You're right.
And my bigger problem is that it's clear that you're lying because you traded for Anthony Davis, who's an older player, who is injury prone in terms of his overall career, even though his last 3 years have been pretty good in terms of him playing almost every game during the regular seasons. But you're trading for a guy who's already had those issues, and more importantly, just is not a Luka caliber player. And you know that. So for you to trade for this player, and then for his first game in Dallas, he's cooking. And Davis had a phenomenal game. But then he gets hurt, and now he might miss the rest of the season potentially. And they did it under the guise of saying, "Yo, our window is these next 4 years."
Right now,
so we're gonna shorten our championship window with a worse player than Luka Doncic.
You cannot make any sense of this trade, and that's the thing that really bothers me. And another thing that bothers me is, now I'm not one who condones violence or anything like that. However, at the same time, when it comes to stupid decisions, the fact that not only did they have the balls to make this trade, guys, but then they had the balls to say, we've hired extra security. Now, here's the issue with that. Here's the issue with that. The security that they said that they hired was supposedly players, coaches, and staff. Miss me with that shit. The security is for
Nico Harrison. Let's be so yeah.
Mm-hmm. So now my boss, actually, shout out to my boss. He actually hit me with this the other day at work. He was like, you know what? He hit me whatever they talk about in the casino conspiracy. Now, all of that, I'm not really that much of a conspiracy theorist, but if a situation occurs and you can't make sense of it, no matter which way you turn it, because just Gift literally laid that out perfectly. They traded the franchise, the greatest prospect in the history of the Dallas Mavericks organization since Dirk Nowitzki.
Better than Dirk Nowitzki.
Mm-hmm. Better than Dirk Nowitzki to some. On pace to be not even. He is the second greatest Maverick ever. Luka Doncic is the second greatest Maverick ever. You traded that away for Anthony Davis. And then you say defense wins championships. And to Gift's point, you're alluding about a championship window. The Lakers somehow, some way always land a star in mysterious circumstances. And then when they land that star, it's all about the future. Same thing happened with Magic. Same thing happened with Kobe and Shaq. Same thing happened with Kareem before Magic. They always can land a star. Jerry West, Wilt Chamberlain, Elgin Baylor, doesn't matter. They land Luka Doncic, their future secured. The Dallas Mavericks as a team, if healthy, and that's a big-ass if because who we're dealing with, but if healthy, when you look at that team on paper, when you look at that front court in the limited amount of minutes that we got to see, not games, but minutes from Anthony Davis in his debut, the defense definitely did look intimidating, don't get me wrong. But that begs me to my next question. So you're telling me that Kyrie's your number one, your 1A, your 1B, your 2. You're telling me Anthony Davis is your 1, your 1A, your 1B, not the guy that, despite being as mobile as a Slovenian ice cream truck, the guy averaged the most points on the team, rebounds, assists, threes made, field goals made, fucking steals, everything for this team last year in the postseason. Luka averaged the most, despite having a Robin and Kyrie Irving, right? Guys like PJ Washington, right? Guys like Derek Lively coming into his own in his first year, things like that. And Luka, even in history, in the 2022 Western Conference Finals, dragging Reggie Bullock and them boys to Dwight Powell and them boys, Tim Hardaway Jr. to the Western Conference Finals. So he's proven to be able to at least get over whatever hump or obstacle is placed in front of him the postseason. He's proven to be able to get over that with or without competent help, and you trade that away. Something's going wrong. Luka didn't slept with his wife. Something is wrong here. Something has. Hayes, listen to me. There's something that you, me, Bama, Gifted in the chat, and Dallas fans, Laker fans, there's something we don't know here.
Oh, that's
there's no, you know what I'm saying? There's something going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, shit getting wicked out here, y'all. Y'all better stay strapped. Well, Nico Harrison better stay strong.
I don't hate the team. I think the team can still be a very good team, but the point of it though is you had a longer window with Luka Doncic. You would have signed the max contract. There would have been a lot more things. I really feel like. Oh, and by the way, people getting upset that I'm saying Luka's a better talent than Dirk. He is. I don't understand the infatuation. Like Dirk's a great player. Luka is a better player. Realistically, Dirk accomplished more, yes, but that's because of the roster construction. The roster construction in Dallas never got a chance until last year, really, and they made it to the finals when they finally had that. Getting rid of Luka for Anthony Davis to me has to be a play on 2026 because what people are not paying enough attention to, 2026 is the year where all of the big names, the star agents, are pretty much off of the books. The new TV money is coming in. It gives them a chance to reconstruct their entire roster. And it's hard to sell me that they believe that Anthony Davis and Kyrie with their roster is enough to win. I think they want to open themselves up to flexibility to maybe get a third guy to really create like a big team who they can have a longer extended window. If that's not the goal, and they really just said we're going to win a title with just Anthony Davis, Kyrie Irving, Gafford in this team, to me, this isn't enough. Because they're lessening their window now. Because at least with Luka, you could say, okay, even if we can't win right now, we have Luka Doncic. We can be good for at least 10 more years with him as our franchise guy. Because with Dirk, he didn't win right away. He went through a lot of years where he wasn't winning basketball, right? And then he came together and they were able to have enough success. At the start of Luka's success in Dallas, you trade him. I have a huge problem with that, especially if you're not going to get the good return back for Luka, because it's not just about trading Luka, but not getting the return back. Only one pick, Hayes? Only one pick for Luka Doncic, one of the best players in the NBA as a whole.
Yeah. It doesn't make any sense. It really
It's
doesn't
the
make any
player
sense in so many
itself,
different
bro.
levels.
Hayes, if I did this in 2K,
They would turn it
think
down.
I'm getting for Luka Doncic.
It's words from
I'm
Chill,
getting-
man.
I'm getting.
I hear your logic, my man,
ballot.
but I can't get with that logic, yo. Luka's not better than Dirk, B. Just saying.
Why? No.
He's
All right,
not.
you know what? Tell me why basketball-wise you're not better than Dirk. No. I'm sick of the bullshit with the ring. What about basketball makes him a worse player than Dirk?
Can we get a 1v1?
Why is Luka not better than Dirk?
You gotta do it.
Like I'm just I'm just so sick of the bullshit because it's like people are so infatuated by old school championships, this and that. But when I ask you to break down the game at basketball, why Luka isn't a better player than Dirk? Tell me why.
Oh my bad,
Yeah.
y'all.
So even though I ain't up there right now, I'll probably say for me, why Dirk is better. He's a better floor spacer. He has a better approach to the game.
Approach to the game. What is that?
I've never seen somebody come into the game like Dirk Nowitzki.
Approach to the game. What does that mean?
And continue to get better and better and better. He never folded against Kobe in 2011.
He folded. That nigga folded.
He went up against Vaughn and
He never folded.
like his will to win, yo. I don't think you understand, B. So that's all I'm gonna say right there, man.
That's someone that don't know what they're talking about. What does approach to the game mean? Can anyone tell me what approach to the game mean? I've never heard someone in a basketball conversation say, "Oh, he had a better approach to the game."
I've never seen somebody with that amount of fanfare, that amount of pressure.
That don't mean shit to me. I'm talking about basketball. I'm talking about basketball.
He never folded. He continued to get.
He literally did fold. We
Hey,
saw
bro.
him fold.
Hey, bro.
folded
Hey,
We
bro.
twice.
saw that.
Hey, Bama giving that Mississippi Pepsi game right now, bro. He just talking, bro.
You don't believe that shit. You don't believe that shit.
I mean,
He said his approach to the game.
what about his? No, the reason why I say his approach to the game, not joking. When has Dirk ever came in out of shape, man? Like, I feel like for your star player, your superstar, out of shape should not be.
But here's my thing with that, Bama. Like,
But if he's out of shape and still putting up the numbers that he's putting up,
exactly. Like,
Imagine if he was in shape. Maybe they would.
But that's not what we're talking about. Is what is? Imagine if Dirk was fat. Like we're talking about what happened.
We're not going to imagine a pro athlete being neglectful and gluttonous and lazy, bro.
I said
I mean,
same thing, though.
I mean, all that is fine, but what does that matter when he has better seasons than Dirk?
Man. And I'm finna say that to say this. I remember back in my day when I played football, I wanted the number 15. Do you know I had to lose 20 pounds to get that jersey number, man? Because in order to get certain numbers, you had to look a certain way. Now,
yeah, but Luka's number 77.
If you was averaging 30, I guarantee you it wouldn't make you burn 20 nothing. I promise you that.
Like at the very worst,
some spaghetti. Like nobody can. Oh wow, he can do this. He's
at the very least. Y'all got to realize at the very least.
Imagine if he took his conditioning serious. How good he could make the team.
But okay. No. Pause. Wait. Pause quick, easy, because this is the shit that makes me mad, though, right? We keep saying, imagine if Luka lost weight. Luka Doncic has multiple better seasons than Dirk Nowitzki. Facts. While he's fat, this is factual. This is not opinion. Luka has averaged 30 points multiple times in the league.
In a time era that benefits his play style.
His play style is what? Because
I think Dirk.
No. Bama, I'm asking you a direct question. What is Luka's play style? What is it? Tell me what it is.
Three chuck. He sidestep. Three.
It's three chuck.
Sidestep. Three. Hit slow dribble. Sidestep. Three. So even if I gave you that, we shoot 53s a game.
Okay.
This look like it benefits his play style.
Okay, but but even if I gave you that, you just said he slows the game down, right? So if he's playing at a slower pace,
slow the game down. He's just slow. It's a big difference. But all right.
Like but independent of that, if you're saying he's a slower basketball player, why can't people guard his ass?
So here's my thing with that. Here's my thing with that. Now let me just chime in and say this real quick, and then y'all can get right back to it. At the very worst, and I think everybody is in agreement when I'm about to say, if Luka is too fat, at the very worst, wouldn't that just make him a smaller Nikola Jokic? At the very worst, and I say Nikola Jokic because play style. When I think of Luka's play style, he is one of those players that I will identify as a walking triple-double. That means that you can look up at the score, see it's tied, go get something to eat, come back, and Luka by the end of the first quarter has 12, 7, and 6. That is the type of player that he is at his speed, at his pace, right? And players like Luka, who people say, imagine if they were in shape, what would they look like? That nigga don't need to be 215 to put 45 points on an in-shape nigga. He don't need to do that.
Keep talking about this is where y'all miss me. Y'all only talk about the scoring aspect, but what about him being a fucking cone when you need to stop that? Bro,
Dirk was a cone.
Him and Kyrie was almost unplayable on the court together. Right. That's how shit their defense was together. The reason why I'll ignore Kyrie because he's 6'1", 6'2", but Luka being 6'9", bro, and not being able to do nothing, get a reach, nothing else.
It's a bad argument. I hope you know that.
Nothing else on the court, but put in some weak ass sidestep threes that everybody love. Like, congratulations. But Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown showed you, bro. You're gonna have to do it on the other end too.
Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown showed you. How about the Boston Celtics as a team? Because defensively, with the 3-point shooting, had a better blend to beat them.
Analyst right now, but we talking about the stars of the team right now. I'm not debating that Boston put on a whole defensive clinic because they got a team set up around that. But what I'm telling you is you only as good as your best players. And if my best players are showing effort on defense, now you can ask me, the 15th man on the bench, to play some defense too, because I'm only going off of the highest. I cannot, again, you cannot be a nigga like Luka, bro, and then be like, hey, bro, play defense. Like, bro, shut up. You go play defense. Like, that's literally what's going to happen, bro, because we already talked about this. They millionaires. You can't tell a millionaire nothing. You can't tell them nothing no more. They buddy. You can't tell them nothing, bro. So you telling me right now, him not playing no defense, we just going to score on offense. How do you hold someone else accountable on the team? How do you maximize your team? You can't, because your superstar isn't even maximizing himself.
I'm gonna be brutally honest with you, Bama.
Doing just enough.
I'm gonna be brutally honest with you. You're saying you are saying Bama. You are saying a lot of buzzwords. We just asked who's a better basketball player. When we're talking about who's a better basketball player, no. You trying to say Dirk's defense is why he's better than Luka.
I'm not saying Dirk defense. I'm saying his approach to the game. First off, Dirk came in the era that wasn't really. He's like one of the first stretch bigs, bro. He started doing that, moving out to the 3-point. Them boys was not playing like that. Y'all know that. They was not playing like
if you're saying Dirk's approach to the game. If you're saying Dirk's approach to the game is why he's better than Luka, does Dirk have a better approach to the game than Shaq?
I think so.
So Dirk has so by that logic, is Dirk better than Shaq?
Shaq is a better athlete than all of them. Because look,
listen.
Hey, shut it down.
Luka not on Shaq's level.
You see how easy that is, bro?
Hold on. We're clearly not getting anywhere with this conversation. This is a great guy. It was fun. It's entertaining. We ain't getting nowhere with this. Hey, nobody's gonna see each other's side. First of all, thank you, fellas. Thank you, fellas, for a great conversation there, because it was an amazing conversation. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
Somebody stop Giannis. Damn, bro. Shit.
I've seen that too.
Again.
Hey,
listen, he's a millionaire. You can't
go. Listen. Hey, when you got the money, you can shoot the club up as much as you want. Now, at least it's all about one woman. He's not following up on woke numbers.
Yeah, but you gotta say that lightly, okay? Because the supposed next face of the NBA is shooting and just leave his shots behind.
Well, he is Jordan's son. He's literally following off. It is what
we're gonna have another Marcus Jordan walking around here, coke the hell up.
Oh God!
But this has been a great episode back. I love this.
It's Mariah Carey.
That is hilarious, man.
That boy's still in Christmas, ain't he? He's still celebrating Christmas.
Any last thoughts, fellas, before we get up out of here for today, y'all?
Well, can't wait for the second half of the season, man. A lot of basketball on the way for sure.
Thank y'all for kicking it with us again. We took a little hiatus, but we are officially back in full force. The 500th episode of the panel is coming up this week, ladies and gentlemen. And I don't know about y'all, but that should mean something to me, damn it. So I'm gonna be there. I don't know about y'all, but y'all might see me on the panel on Friday. You know what I'm saying?
I'm surprised it's only 500, to be honest with you.
Honestly, me too. Shit, and think about how many.
That sounds low.
Went through.
Shout out to them, man. That's an amazing accomplishment, fam. I'll be there too.
Real. Big ups to them. I hate you, Mark.
I just want to say, man, chat, y'all keep this show going, man. Appreciate y'all pulling up. Let's see if y'all can consistently stay here with us, man.
Hey, shout out chat.
Because we need y'all. We need y'all to keep growing, man. So fuck with us. And if you don't fuck with us, your grandma stink.
Straight like that.
All right. Well, that was said. Make sure y'all are tuned with us, man, every Tuesday, man. We appreciate y'all so much, man, for everything that y'all been. Yeah, we took a little break. We back here. We'll be back every single week, man. We appreciate you guys so much. Y'all make sure y'all tune into the panel every day as well. But yeah, we'll see what arguments are in the future, because that was a crazy conversation. Love you guys, man. Make sure you guys stay tuned. We'll see y'all next Tuesday, man. Peace.
Peace out, people.
You gotta end it, Z.
Shit. Love y'all.